Hello everybody, my name's Ardendris, and welcome back to Minecraft Age of Pirates. Before we actually get into this episode, uh, I realized well, there's a couple things I've been meaning to say at the start of some of these episodes, or maybe at the end of some of these episodes for the past couple days now, but I keep forgetting. So, my plan was, being as it is the holiday season, to start wishing you a happy holiday, whichever holiday you celebrate, starting on whatever day. So, for the first day of Hanukkah, I was gonna say Happy Hanukkah to everyone who celebrates it. But I don't actually celebrate Hanukkah, so don't actually know when that started. And apparently that started on the 18th, so that's been a couple days, so happy... This comes out on the 22nd. So happy 4th day of Hanukkah, then, to anyone who celebrates Hanukkah. And, on to a holiday I do celebrate. Again, I'm a day late for this. I am recording this on the 21st, but it does go up on the 22nd. I meant to say it last time, but forgot because I wasn't really thinking about the fact that it was going to be coming up today instead of yesterday. But to anyone who might celebrate Yule, the winter solstice, happy Yule as well. I figured that might be a nice little thing, just to get everyone included, no matter what you celebrate. But in general, to anyone who doesn't celebrate either of those days, just I hope you have a good day. Anyways, on to what's happened. Last time, we spent more or less the entire time decorating this thing. I went like a quick overview. I went with like an overview of what I had done to change it up since we like started the framework building in the prior episode. Since then, I have put in the rest of the chairs, and I think that's about all I did actually inside. Like we have our kitchen area, that's the same. And basically I've just like moved around some of these chairs, I moved the table slightly, and nothing has really changed upstairs. We do have a couple adventurers still here. Oh, that is something I want to bring up as well. They are not here anymore. I was going to bring... I wasn't ready to bring us in earlier when one of these visitors showed up. But they were a pretty special visitor. A visitor showed up. I think they were called Natalia or something like that. There was an adventurer showed up called Natalia. I'm not sure if it was the same one. I think it was. But anyways, unlike some of these other visitors where their occupation says adventurer, the occupation for this Natalia was cultist. Yeah. And they had a couple things to sell. I only bought one of them because I was going to bring us in to show them, but then they despawned before I could. They gave us a book called The Serbans by Lucas the Devotee. A long time ago, a being from another world came to this plane, sharing its wisdom as it travels across the land. This entity was called Serban the 99. Despite good intentions, its knowledge was too much for our minds to comprehend, so some people didn't listen, but those who did were changed, to never be the same again. Their minds, shattered by the truths Serban said, became obsessed, and they passed the sacred words onto the next generation. Everyone who gains this erratic behavior receives the Serban trait. Until this day, some people say they can still hear its whispers. Also, love the background on that. Anyways, they gave us this book. And I was going to show buying the other thing on camera, but then they despawned before I could. Because they were just selling a baby. That was weird. I really wish I got that one on camera, but they legitimately were just selling a baby. And, it's just, what? Why are you just selling a baby? I get that your profession is literally stated as cultist, but that's weird, isn't it? What has changed with Minecraft Comes Alive? Like, the old versions weren't like this. Hmm? It's a baby. Hello, little one. Oh. Christina, the baby. Your heart's not married. I hope the baby's not married. Parents, Dimitri and Masha. Oh yeah, I did get a pop-up and chat about this and I completely forgot about it. But apparently the first baby's been born into the village. Hello, little baby. I'm gonna give you a good home with your parents eventually. Oh, that's adorable. Ow. I do not have any of my actual weapons on me because I've been messing around with village building. So, what's changed? So, this path has been changed a little bit. One, it used to go all the way to the edge of the, building. But now I've shrunk it a little bit this way, and I've actually extended it. So it goes out all the way out here. And we have this little side path that's going to be between this village and what I suppose is eventually going to be... I think I'm putting the infirmary. I think this would be a good spot for the infirmary. Because, based off this... Oh yeah, I did upgrade the storage to actually be considered a storage. Anyways, the infirmary seems like it's going to be pretty good. Lowers the risk of villagers getting sick. We'll eventually put that in here, I suppose. But anyways, what else changed? I flattened out this area a little bit. I put the spot here. I put the spot here so we can continue the path up here, actually. Did that a little bit. I didn't quite finish with all of the pathing in this area, obviously. I was going to do something like this. And then probably... This is going to be a spot for a house. Maybe a couple little housing things here. I guess 2 small houses or 1 big house right there. Maybe the path will come up here. I'm not entirely sure how I'm pathing everything out just yet. But anyways, I just... Oh, it was a wandering trader drinking their invisibility potion. Oh well. But anyways, I've flattened this all out. Eventually I'm going to put a fountain in the center, make some market stalls. I'm doing a lot of tidying up a lot of this stuff. But here's on to the main things that have changed since last time. Actually, let me go jump in my sleeping bag. 1, get rid of this rain, 2, make it daytime. We have what is the start of the shipwrights building and maybe base for building ships. I think I'm probably going to put in some storage back here to hold the building materials for ships. We have this... It was supposed to be a sort of model of a ship that's been built. We have what's eventually going to be a little office area. We have... I made a couple of the ships from the small ships mod. Have this as just on display of what the shipwright has built. Then we have this. This hulking thing, which is supposed to be frameworks for building our ship in. How I think I'm going to do it is in one of these center blocks. I'm going to just do something like that. And then we'll build our ship starting on this point. And we'll build it out, making sure to avoid coming too close to these blocks. I just thought this looked better as I thought this looked better than just building our boat hovering here. Plus it gives us a little bit of an easier access to actually jump on. Because we can just go like that. If we need to slowly get in here somewheres. Here we go. We finally have a spot to start building our own ship. I did clear up some of that. Which I think we're going to be starting on today. At least some of the bare essentials. So, to build our ship, we have all of our... I basically grabbed all of our building blocks. I probably should have grabbed more wood, because they're definitely going to need more wood. So, we are going to need engine, which I guess we could do that when that can wait. So the ship is actually completed. Oh, we apparently... Oh, You've all picked up jobs as fishermen, even though we definitely have other jobs available for you. How rude. Oh, he's not coming back. Okay. Well, there you are. Go away. Oh, yeah. Oh, why are you so loud? That death cry did not want to end. Oh.
Hi there.
Yeah, you're just an adventurer. You don't actually live here. What are you doing trying to get a job? Are you trying to romance Alexandra? Or are you just chatting with Alexandra? Alexandra is married, so please don't romance Alexandra. But anyways, what are we going to need? For Eureka, we are going to need floaters, obviously, which is wood and a bunch of string. I think that might be enough string. We're going to need wood and gold. We'll just grab a piece of gold before we go. I'll grab a couple, because they do break for good when... yeah. They do not actually drop when you break a ship's helm. And... We'll get an anchor, I guess. Just because we already have the stuff we need for it. And I think... I'm gonna grab and carry some wool with us. And some leather. Like that. Just in case. Because the balloons, if we put enough, will help make sure the ship floats a good height. Like, I think the floaters are technically better at floating something up than the The floaters kind of give like a base level of where you want the boat to sit in the water, while the balloons will always pull something up. But they cannot pull something up they cannot always pull something up. They have to counteract the weight of an object. So like the balloons, you would need like 1,000 balloons to float like that ship, I think, up into the sky. Or maybe not 1,000, but at least like 300 to actually make it float upwards at a high rate. With floaters and balloons, we'll just be able to... the balloons will just help the floaters get to the level of the water, because the floaters will always want to float at the water surface level, or technically a block above. But anyways, with all of that, I'm gonna make another chest real quick. Just for this stuff. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, let's just start making floaters now, because those are going to be one of our biggest thing. And I should probably separate based on woods from stone. Because this thing's almost going to be entirely made out of wood. Do with that. I can make crimson planks. I might find a use for that. It is a wood, so I'll separate it. Dirt stays in here. All of this stuff. And my inventory's full. Wood stuff can go in here for now. Actually, I'll take a second to just separate these. I won't make you watch that. Okay, then, so I sort of had this separated. We have, like, dirt, sand, stone stuff, various stuff that isn't woods, and the backpack's just full of all of our wood stuff. And, looking at this, I'm probably going to need to go gather more wood. We're sort of, I think, just going to get our main start for the day. We need to start thinking about what materials we want to use. Like, I was looking at like some ship designs, trying to think of what something I worked with, and I've been like testing some stuff out. And I think I'm gonna try and stick with like one main wood color for like the main hull, and then maybe switch to a different wood for like the top deck, and maybe the upper two decks, and then like the bottom deck and whole area, like the largest part of the ship is going to be like one wood color, and then maybe put like a nice border in and then switch to a different color. And looking at what we actually have available for woods, and actually thinking about a lot of like designs I've seen, I think we're going to be going with like a dark oak hull. So let's go like this. And in one of the previous versions, they're using like the chisel stuff with this didn't work great. Like it would break up the like the textures. It would like break up the textures. That's what I was trying to say. But I was also still using specifically this chisel mod instead of the rechisel mod, so we might be able to make it work. Just a question of what type would we want to go for. Also, well, we're going to be making some of this. Oops. What did I just make? Okay, I like it, but not really for a ship. So we have that. Like the brick doesn't really work. If we're going to go with anything, it's probably going to be like the paneling. Maybe like a brick like that. I'm not so. If we're going to go with anything, it's probably going to be like the flat paneling. Maybe the stripes. Oh no. The stripes look like they could be good, but something about them, they're very hard to use. So let's actually just try out with these large tiles. And then we're going to start shaping out what we want this to look like. And it realize it's dark time and nighttime, and we should probably make it day. So we also need to start thinking about how actually big we want to make this. Like this is going to be, I actually don't know how big I've made this frame. Hold on. There's 3 blocks between them. That's 1, 5, 9, 13, 16, not 17 rather. 21, 25, 29. 29 blocks. So maybe the nose goes out a couple blocks more than that. And then way I built this. I guess we'll probably leave it like that, and then like the very front of the ship, like the point on the front of the ship, maybe goes out a few more than that. But like this is going to be yeah. Ugh. Words are hard. I don't actually know what a lot of these ship parts are called. But anyways, this is probably going to be like the main part of the ship. Main length of the ship, and then we'll probably go a little bit farther out with like the prow. Is that what it's called? I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, so it's actually been like a week or so since I did a lot of my like boat building practice. So I've actually forgotten a lot of what I was working on. But we're probably going to do like a flat bottom like this. And panels like this. Just a question of how we want to do it. Like this, maybe? Like taper the front just a little bit. Like how I'm thinking about doing this right now is I'm going to build like this section, and then I'm planning on like building it out with like slabs, if I can just some of those, like doing something like this, because the slabs do actually float better than the full block. Suppose I could use stairs for this, but they are technically a little bit worse than the slabs. Oop, so then, I really should have planned some of this out. I'm sort of just winging it right now. Fine, that was an accident, but I'll go with it. And same thing on this side. No forethought, no planning. Just jump right into it. This is a brilliant idea. Especially since ships are something that I've done testing on how to build them, but do not actually know very well. But this will work for now. And then that work? I don't really have a good spot to like look at the bot. Maybe. Or do I just start? Do I go for another full block in here, or do I just start like half slabbing my way up? Like every layer. Until eventually I go back to full block. I think at this point I might just go back to, I might go to half slabbing my way up. Because it's a very flat bottom and then it quickly, as far as I can tell from looking at like a lot of reference pictures, boats usually have like a pretty flat bottom and then it tapers like pretty quickly into like a sheer wall up. But this is not from any real experience with ships in real life. Like this is literally just me looking at reference pictures. I've only been on like one ship in my life, and it was like a paddle boat thing, or not really a paddle boat, like one of those. I don't know. Actually, yeah, I think it is called a paddle boat. I think that is what I'm thinking of. Like it's one of those ships that has like that big wheel on the back that like spins and catches water and pulls the ship forward. I think those are called paddle boats, right? Sort of, kind of, not really. I don't know. But anyways, I'm probably just going to do this. Did not think about the suppose I start going like this with it. And then just I do the same thing I'm doing with like the rest of it, where it's like the front of the boat is like more tapered in the front part of the hull. Help. Yeah, I think that will work. I'm just going to build this up. I think I'm going to do 3 layers of this half slab. Like I'll finish off the one I'm on and then I'll go one more before switching to straight up. So I'll be right back. Okay, so as I said, I have like that base layer down here and then I brought it up 3 half slabs before coming into another full block. Ow! I was thinking about whether I was going to start putting in the flooring now and have like this be what's under the water, or if I maybe bring this up one more. I think I'm gonna bring this up one. I forgot which. Completely forgot where the wood was. Okay. There we go. Take this into the panels. Almost to the point where I can't actually just hop up anymore. And need more. Yay. Oh, this is gonna be so expensive. But I think we can do a good job with it. Time to start climbing up these pillars before jumping up on to the boat. Anyways, we pull up a reference picture just so I'm not winging this as badly as I currently am. Like, this seems like it might be a good height of, like, the hole that you would find under the water. So, for the most part, this is going to be a lot of empty space, because with how the Eureka mod works, everything that's in the water, despite the fact that this would be airtight, just fills with water anyways. So, what are we going to do for flooring? Again, like we've done for a lot of our flooring, we're going to be using slabs at this point, because in this build, because it both saves on materials and space, because we're going to be utilizing like 2.5 block ceilings in this thing, based purely off the fact that boats are boats don't have a lot of space, and they have to use whatever space they have. Should we go with jungle flooring then? It is a very different color from the from the dark oak, plus and from the regular oak that we're probably going to use for the upper layer. So jungle flooring, I guess it is. Before I do this, should probably. I'm just gonna fill this thing basically completely up with floaters. Floaters. That's right here. Plank and string. We get 16 per. What wood aren't we using for the build? We're not using birch really, so we'll just. I'm gonna have to pick up that boat and save you, aren't I? But okay then. And I make this a no-go. Add building. Okay, this is a building. Advanced. Restrict access. I was looking at this and realized that I could do that, so no villagers are allowed in the shipyards build. Actually, I can actually denote rooms, so I could allow them in this room, but not in this room. Kind of cool. I was looking at some of the advanced settings for that. But anyways, let's start putting in our flooring and our floaters then. So what, it's just a single piece of wood with like string on either side? I guess I'll make 2 stacks of floaters? We're probably gonna need all of them. And I'm gonna put these. So I guess I'll put them on this layer. And fill it out all like that. And just start going like this. And we're out. And we're not even half done. Oh, this is gonna be so expensive. What is that? Rope. Just rope. Okay. For another stack. Still almost certainly not enough. Let me up. And 32. I'm assuming. Gamers. Oh yeah, I should also note, this boat is going to be, I think, 11 blocks is how wide it is currently. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 11 blocks. And it did extend forwards a little bit, so like 11 by like 35, just like the basic hole. Maybe out to 40 when we add in like the long arm that comes out the front. And don't need a whole lot more. Let's just try these 32. And like this. Can you actually pick up? Oh, you cannot. If we're one short, I'm okay. We actually have one too many. That's good. We're not going to be adding any more floaters to this. So we'll just start adding in this flooring. And currently, this would probably float at like... This would probably float at just around floater height if we were to drop it in the water. But once we start adding in a lot of other weights, that's very quickly going to change. Anyways, I'm just going to like fill out the rest of this flooring and then start filling out the walls more. And yeah, I definitely keep underselling how much wood I need for some of these holes. I'm gonna need to go get more. Okay. So, where is my jungle wood? Here it is. So we have that. I might actually need to go gather more jungle wood. I was thinking we're not going to be using a whole lot of it since we're using the slabs and it's just for the flooring. But looking at how much we've used for just one floor, and we're probably going to add in a couple, might just need more. But there we go. Okay, so we have like our... Ah! There we go. Fell in the water again. So we have this done, and when everything is said and done, we want it to float at about here or so. Like, we don't need it floating like here. We have a half block here to work with and then some. We just want the water to avoid coming over this. If it does, the tiniest bit, like maybe there's just water's gonna get in a boat. You have pails on board, so you can like throw it overboard. If it comes in the slightest bit, that's fine. There's just like a slight leak or just water's flowing in through one of the upper layers. That's fine. But if we don't want it floating any higher than that. But anyways, at this point, like this can continue going up. And make these. And this floor is going to be like crew chamber. Crew chamber? This not really. Oh. Crew cabin. Crew whatever. Like, I'm thinking like in the back here. I'm not sure how true this is to how like an actual pirate ship would have been. But like we're going to have like our beddings for crew and then maybe some storage area here. And then did we put cannon ports on this level? Like we need cannon ports on the sides. Would that make sense to have that on the same level as where your crew sleeps? Like, there's not really much space out here. You know what? This is our boat. We get to decide, and we're going to put like crew seating out back, crew bedding out back, and then imports on the sides here. I'm not entirely sure how big our ship is going to get. At this point, I think we can get a full 3-mast ship in here. Like, there's going to be one, like, here, roughly. One, like, slightly back from center ship, like, here. And then one, like, here or so. We technically should start building up now, but I think we're going to, like, build up all of the decks and then just, like, dig down. Anyways, let's see. Let's make this one block higher. And we'll... let's look at it from the back. Yeah, yeah. I think we can maybe afford to... I'm not sure. I'm thinking through some things right now. I need to... wish I had bamboo so I could make Actually, do you use bamboo for scaffolding, right? I always forget. Or is it just stick? Scaffolding. Yeah, it's bamboo. We don't have any bamboo, so ladders it is. Which I have a couple. I thought I had a couple in here. I missed. Here they are. Uh, I really missed that. Seriously. Apparently I need to do that. Like that. So now we can get back up here rather easily. These. We're going to need dark oak in just a second here. We go, and then I guess we make. Can we go one higher with this, or should we leave it there? Hmm. Yeah, we should probably leave it there. You know what? This is going to be a very large ship. We're floating it at about here. I would love to go put this thing next to the dock, but that's gonna be, but there's no way for me to get it over to the dock and then quickly just move it back over here. Well, technically I could like creative mode world edits, just like select the whole thing, move it over. Make it into a proper ship to see how the deck is to the whatever. Yeah. At this point, I'm conflicted. I want to go one higher with it, but doing so doesn't leave us a lot of room else. Like, yeah, we'll start putting this in. This, I was thinking maybe we go this one 3.5, but this up here is going to, this next level is going to be like our main, this is going to be like the main deck, and we don't want that going too much higher than where those go. And if I go one block higher, I think they, look, well, we are already just going to, really, we are just already going to be putting ladders on the side of this thing to get this thing to get into it. Oh, I'm definitely regretting the one block gap between the like framework and the boat. I'm definitely regretting it. Anyways. Currently, where we're floating it at about here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks up from the water. On our lower docks, that's 3 blocks climbing a ladder before you get to that. We're parking this on our. We're parking this on like the larger dock right by the warehouse almost all the time. I think that's probably this ship's permanent parking spot. Which, if we leave it here, will now give it a 3 ladder climb. But we could. Yeah, I'm going to change this up a little bit, make these walls 1 higher so that it's a 3.5. I think. Basically, I think so that when you get out of the bed, you're less likely to bonk your bad. So I'm gonna make that change real quick. 1 second. Okay. As a proof of concept for how this is currently working, I have hopped into creative mode and used world edit to like move the entire chassis. It wouldn't be called a chassis, would it? I have no idea what it's called. What it's called. I want to call it a chassis, and I'm going to call it a chassis, but that's probably not the right word. And just as a test, let's just grab a helm rope. Doesn't matter what, we're just testing this real quick. If we do this, I definitely need to just change this for carry on. Okay, carry on. If I press tilde and go to move something, I can down to do that. So now I can just sneak and open it. So if I assemble this, how does this look right now? Floating level as it should be, considering it is entirely symmetrical. And I think it's actually currently floating at the height we want. It's actually floating a little bit higher than we currently want. That should resolve itself when we add in when we start adding on, like, upper decks. Like, we're going to add in, like, the captain's cabin in the back there. And we're going to start adding in prow. Probably starting from, like, here, we're going to start, like, a nose point. Like that. And, like, the mast and stuff are, like, going to be, like, pure logs, which are actually quite a bit heavier when it comes to float. But right now, well, it is technically heavier than we want, so if we grab, like, an iron block or two and place them in specific places, that might mimic the extra weight that we're going to be adding on. So that is currently floating at floater height, I think. So if we just add 2 iron blocks to both the front and back, I think that will change it enough. Like, iron blocks are incredibly heavy. No, not quite. 4 in the back. 4 in the front. Close, not quite. We still have about a 4th block more to go. Like, we should see water when we look down. 4 more blocks in the front. 4 more blocks back. We just try to keep them symmetrical enough. Oh. Oh yeah, I can't use the builder's wand because the ship is assembled right now. This is entirely just testing to see if our concept is entirely failed. Just in premise. There's gonna be a lot of hull above water and not a whole lot below. Still no water. I kind of want to get it to the point where they see water just coming over the floaters. That's the height we want this to float at. So let's just start going crazy with this. Like, I'm actually surprised how many iron blocks we're at this point. There we go. We see water. And we technically still have a little bit more to go. Like, we want the block to... That's about where I want it. Maybe a little bit more, but that's about where I want it. How high is this floating? Actually, I'm a huge fan of that height, actually. That's a lot better. I like it. I like that floating height. I like how the height of that. That's only going to be like 3 ladders. You technically could bring it down about a quarter block more or so. Like, yeah. What is that? There's 6? There's 8 pixels on a half slab, I think. It's currently floating at... Why? There's 7 pixels on this? Hmm? Hold on a second. I need an oak slab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 8 pixels. It's currently floating at about the 3rd pixel of this block, which means we have 4 pixels to work with, so basically another half slab. So, like, this is actually, I think, about exactly where I wanted it. At this point, we can disassemble this, and I can use World Edit to just make everything go back to how it was before, just by using the /undo command. Or not. Actually, I could just, fine, I can't use undo because of how I used, yeah, words are hard. I can't use undo because of Eureka. Probably should have seen that one coming, but I can do /repair. And you know what? I'll fix that off camera. I'll get rid of that and return the water to how it should be off camera. But yeah, currently our boat's working almost exactly how I want it to. Like, it didn't quite look exactly how I didn't think at first it was going to float exactly how high I wanted it to. But like looking at it again with it compared to like the dock, I think it's about where I wanted. I think it's gonna work out right. Then next time we're going to add in the captain's quarters and like an upper deck here so that we can probably put in like a little staircase here up a few blocks over what's going to be like the main captain quarters in here. Then going up on this like upper dock here, we're going to have our... This is where like the ship's helm would be in like an actual pirate ship with like one of the 3 masts right behind it. Then we'd have another mast like here or so. Not entirely sure where that would be. Like I just put these ladders here for now at about the center point, but they'd probably be about here instead with like this is where the mast is going to be. Oh no, we'll work on it. I'll look at some designs to like double check and just to make sure I'm not like making this all up off the top of my head. I did just add in these blocks with creative mode to get to world. Now, but anyways, we've made good progress so far on our ship. Like, there's no way down to those levels yet, but we can add that in. And it's gonna be our main deck. With like, actually, a lot of people are arriving in the in apparently. But yeah, looking at the time, I think this is a rather good place to end it off. I want to thank you very much for watching. And again, as I said at the beginning of this episode, happy 4th day of Hanukkah at this point. It started on the 18th. This goes up on the 22nd. Or technically it is the 22nd at this point now, because it just turned over from midnight. So at the 4th day, yeah. And then happy belated Yule to those who celebrate that. In a couple days now, it's going to be a Merry Christmas Eve and then a Merry Christmas Day, along with like the various numbered days of Hanukkah. It's 8 days, right? I'm not crazy on that one. So it's day 4 today. Hanukkah goes on until the 26th, the day after Christmas Day, which I think is also when Kwanzaa starts when I was looking at it. Yeah. I'm not super 100% sure on a lot of the holidays in this month. Like I know very little about Hanukkah. I know next to nothing about Kwanzaa. But I hope you are all having a happy holiday season, or if you don't celebrate any holidays in this month, I hope you're just having a good time. So, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have as we've started the build of our very own pirate vessel, and I hope to see you next time. So, without further ado, take care, everybody.